If you'd like to own this timeless book in physical form, I've linked my favorite edition in the description below. A beautiful copy to study, gift, or keep forever. The very substance of the universe is pliable and obedient. The rational power that governs it has no malice, contains no evil, and does nothing harmful. Everything is done in accordance with its reason and purpose. Let it make no difference to you whether you are half frozen or comfortably warm, whether you've only just stirred from sleep or are fully rested, whether you are praised or criticized. Just do your duty. Even dying should be regarded simply as one of the natural acts of life. Look inward. Never let anything escape your understanding before you grasp both its essential nature and its true value. Everything changes quickly. All things either dissolve back into the elemental unity or, as others believe, scatter and separate entirely. As for the rational principle that rules all things, it fully understands itself, its operations, and the materials it works with. But we, being ignorant of these things, find ourselves often bewildered. The best revenge is not to become like those who harmed you. Let your true satisfaction come from this, to move continuously from one act of kindness to the next, with God always on your mind. The rational ruling part of you is the only thing that moves itself. It makes everything, yourself included, appear as it chooses. All things are governed by the nature of the universe, not by any separate or opposing nature, whether within or without. If the universe is just a chaotic jumble of matter destined to fall apart, then why would you wish to prolong your life in it? Why strive to please the gods? Eventually you will return to dust whether you will it or not. But if, instead, it is a well-ordered whole, ruled by providence, then you are not striving in vain. Trust it, remain at peace, and submit to its wisdom. Whenever you are disturbed by something painful or difficult, return to yourself as quickly as you can. Don't let your mind stay out of harmony longer than necessary. If you train yourself to always return promptly to inner balance, you will be better equipped to remain composed and stable the next time challenges arise. If you had both a stepmother and a real mother alive, you would honor them both, but your real loyalty and affection would always return to your true mother. That's how your relationship should be with public life and philosophy. Respect your duties in the world, but keep returning to philosophy. She is your refuge. She makes everything else tolerable, and she makes you bearable to others. It's powerful to strip away illusions and see things as they really are. A fine meal? Just the corpse of a fish, a bird, or a pig. Expensive wine? Grape juice. A luxurious robe? Sheep's wool dyed with the blood of a shellfish. Sexual pleasure? The friction of body parts, followed by a brief release and a bit of fluid. These aren't noble things. They only seem important because of the stories we attach to them. Learn to see through appearances. This practice clears your mind and protects you from being deceived, especially by things that parade as serious or dignified. Think about what Crates said about Xenocrates. The point is left open. Perhaps humility or critique. What people usually admire says a lot. The masses are impressed by things like wood, stone, and fruit, basic material things. Those a bit more refined admire animals. The more cultured praise humans, but often only for their talents or inventions. Rarely do people admire the human being simply for being rational and sociable. But the wise person does. He values the rational soul itself and does everything to preserve and cultivate it. By doing so, he lives in step with the divine, whose nature he shares. Everything is either being born or dying. Even what exists now is already in motion toward change. The world is in constant renewal, just as time itself keeps cycling. Nothing lasts. So what in this fast-moving stream is worth clinging to? It's like trying to grow attached to a sparrow. It's here for a moment, then gone. Don't treat your life as anything more permanent than that. Life is just breath and blood, cycling through you. That breath you're taking now, it's the same breath you've taken every day, and it could be your last. Surely it cannot be the vegetative life, the kind plants have, that should be so precious to us, nor the mere sensitive life of animals, tame or wild, nor even our ability to imagine or our tendency to be led around by our appetites, nor the fact that we live together in groups, or that we can eat, for that is no better than saying we can also excrete. So what should be dear to us? Is it just hearing noise? No, then neither should we value the praise of others, For public applause is nothing more than the clattering of many tongues. If not applause, then what is truly worth caring about? This, that all your actions and decisions flow in harmony with your own true nature and design. This is what even the ordinary crafts aim at, that what they produce is perfectly suited for its function. That is the goal of vine dressers, horse trainers, and dog trainers. It's also the aim of all education and every field of knowledge, to shape things so that they function according to their nature. Shouldn't this then be our own goal too? If you focus on this alone, you need not worry about gaining anything else. But if you can't help wanting other things too, then you can never be truly free. You'll never be content. You'll always be subject to passions, envy, jealousy, suspicion, fearing those who might take what you desire, undermining those who already have it. You'll live in inner confusion and resent the gods. But if you honor and serve only your own mind, then you will find self-respect, kindness toward others, and harmony with the divine, accepting gratefully whatever the gods assign to you. The elements move upward, downward, and in circles, but the movement of virtue is unlike any of them. It is higher, divine, and the path it travels cannot be easily seen or defined. And what can you say about people? They won't praise those they live among now, yet they crave the praise of people they've never met and never will, from the distant future. It's as if someone were bitter that those long dead didn't praise them. Never believe that something is impossible for you just because it's difficult or you haven't done it yet. If it's humanly possible, then it is possible for you too. Imagine you're at the wrestling school. Someone scrapes you with their nails, maybe breaks your head. You're hurt, but you don't cry out or get angry or hold a grudge. Even if you try to avoid that person next time, it's not because you hate them. It's just a tactical move. That's the attitude you should take in all of life. Treat people who hurt you like sparring partners, not enemies. Avoid what harms, but don't poison your mind with suspicion or hatred. If anyone corrects me and proves that I am mistaken in thought or action, I will gladly change. For I seek the truth, by which no one has ever been harmed, but one who clings to error and ignorance is harmed. As for me, I will focus on doing what is mine to do. As for everything else, whether irrational, inanimate, or misguided by ignorance, I will not let them disturb me. I will use irrational things rationally, as befits someone endowed with reason. And toward other humans who also share in reason, I will behave with sociability. Whatever task you undertake, remember to invoke the gods. And as for how long you shall live to do such things, be indifferent. Even 3 hours of living rightly is enough. Alexander the Great and his mule driver both ended the same way. Either they were returned to the same original rational essence from which all things emerge, or both were scattered into atoms. Consider how many things, both of body and soul, take place within you in a single moment. Then you'll understand how it is that the universe can sustain and coordinate countless things simultaneously. If someone asked you how to spell the word Antoninus, you would focus carefully, letter by letter, and calmly respond without argument. If someone tried to interrupt or provoke you mid-spelling, would you argue? Or would you calmly continue completing the task? Treat every duty in life the same way, methodically, peacefully, letter by letter, without engaging those who try to distract you with quarrels. Isn't it unjust to forbid others from pursuing what they believe is good and right for themselves? And yet that's what you do when you're angry with someone for their mistakes. For they are doing what they think is best, even if they're wrong. So don't be angry, educate them. Show them the truth, but do not rage against them. Death is simply the end of sense impressions, of the tyranny of passions, of mental delusions, and of bodily servitude. If your body can endure this life, why should your soul give out first? Be careful not to lose your philosophical nature and become merely another courtly figure, another Caesar, molded by power and status. Guard your true character. Be simple, good, sincere, dignified, humble, just, pious, compassionate, and strong enough to bear what life demands. Strive to be the person philosophy would have shaped you into, had you fully devoted yourself to her. Worship the gods, do good for humanity. Life is short. Acts of kindness and a heart turned toward the divine, these are the only lasting fruits of our time on earth. Do everything as becomes a disciple of Antoninus Pius. Remember his steady determination to act according to reason. Recall his calmness in all circumstances, his dignity, his cheerful expression, his warmth, and his freedom from vanity. Reflect on how diligent he was in seeking a full and exact understanding of every matter, never resting until he grasped it completely. Consider his patience in bearing unjust criticism, his restraint in rushing to judgment, his refusal to entertain slanders or false accusations, and how carefully he observed people's actions and characters. He never gossiped, was not easily frightened or suspicious, and spoke plainly without affectation. He was satisfied with few things: simple lodging, bedding, clothing, food, and care. He endured hardship, remained patient, and due to his modest lifestyle, could go from morning to night without needing a break. He was steady in his friendships, open to correction, and delighted if someone offered better advice. He was truly religious, yet free of superstition. Keep all these qualities of his in mind, so that when death comes for you, as it came for him, it finds you ready with a clean conscience and a steady heart. Awaken your mind, shake yourself from your natural illusions and dreams. Once awake, see that they were nothing more than illusions. And just as you wake from night dreams, wake now from the daydreams of worldly ambition. Look upon these temporary things as you would upon a dream fading in the morning light. I am made of body and soul. The body is indifferent to all things. It has no preferences or opinions. As for the mind, all things outside of its own activity are also indifferent. And even those actions that belong to the mind, it focuses only on what is presently at hand. It does not worry about the past or future, which are also now indifferent to it. Just as the foot is not burdened by walking when it performs its proper task, or the hand by grasping, so too a human being, when performing what is natural for him, cannot be burdened. And what is natural cannot be harmful. But if happiness were found in pleasure, why then do we find that even wicked people, robbers, the immoral, those who kill their own parents, tyrants, seem to enjoy great pleasures? See how even those who work with their hands, though in many respects ignorant, are devoted to their craft and do not easily stray from it. Shouldn't it be even more shameful that a carpenter or physician is more faithful to his trade than a human being is to reason, which is his true and divine profession, shared even with the gods? Asia and Europe, what are they but tiny corners of the world? The vast sea is just a drop, and Mount Athos no more than a lump of earth. All present time is a fleeting point in the eternity of time. Everything is small, everything changes quickly and then vanishes, and all of it either proceeds from a wise and deliberate design or follows by necessary consequence. Even dangerous things, the gap. Whoever sees what is happening now has seen everything, everything that has ever happened and everything that will happen. All things are of one nature, repeating in cycles. Reflect often on the interconnectedness of all things in the universe and on how all events relate to one another. Everything is intertwined by physical movement, by mutual design and harmony, and by the essential unity of all matter and spirit. Adapt yourself fully to the condition of life assigned to you by destiny, and truly love the people whose lives are woven into yours. A tool or instrument serves its purpose, even if its maker is no longer present. But in nature, the creative force that shaped all things still remains within them. That's why it deserves even more reverence. If we can live in accordance with that natural intention, we can be confident that all is well, because we are living exactly as we should. Whatever lies beyond the control of your own will, whether you gain it or lose it, must not be seen as either good or evil. If you treat such things as good or bad, then when you fail to get what you want or fall into what you dread, you'll end up blaming the gods and resenting people, whether they actually caused it or you merely think they did. You'll fall into bitterness, envy, or conflict. But if you consider only what lies within your own will as good or bad, then there will be no cause for blame, neither toward the gods nor toward anyone else. We are all working together toward one common purpose, some knowingly, others unknowingly. Even those who sleep, as Heraclitus once said, are still contributing in their own way. Each person plays a role, whether they realize it or not. Even those who resist or complain still help fulfill the greater plan. The world needs them too. Now ask yourself honestly, which group do you want to belong to? You will be used by nature either way. The divine mind will make use of you as part of its design, willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or blindly, but don't let yourself be that embarrassing, pointless line from a play that adds nothing. Be a purposeful verse in the great poem of the world. Does the sun try to do what belongs to the rain? Does Aesculapius, the god of healing, try to manage what belongs to the soil? Each star has its own function and keeps to its own course, yet they all work together in harmony toward a single, unified end. If the gods have carefully planned what happens to me, then I must accept their plan, trusting that it came from wisdom and intelligence. It's difficult to believe that the gods could be careless or lacking in judgment. And why would they wish me harm? What benefit could that bring to them or to the universe they so carefully govern? But if they haven't decided anything specifically for me, then surely they have arranged all things in general. And since I am part of that whole, I must also embrace whatever flows from that broader plan. Yet if we suppose that they have made no decisions at all, which is an impious thought, unworthy of anyone who believes in divine presence, then let us abandon prayer, sacrifice, and all notions of sacred oaths. But if, despite all this, they have not considered human affairs in any way, then at least I thank the gods for this, that I myself can deliberate on what is best for me. What is best for me is always what is in harmony with my own nature, and that nature is rational, sociable, and just. As Antoninus, my city is Rome, but as a human being, my city is the world. Whatever benefits those cities, those communities, is good and beneficial for me. Whatever happens to any person is ultimately useful for the whole. And it should be enough for you to know that what happens benefits the universe overall. But if you watch carefully, you'll see that whatever happens to one person also fits into the good of all people. Consider how quickly all things become boring and repetitive, just like theatrical performances that repeat the same scenes, the same plots, the same gestures. So it is with life, the same actions, the same causes, the same outcomes, over and over. When will it stop? Keep constantly before you the deaths of people from every walk of life, scholars, warriors, kings, philosophers, orators, scientists, comedians, skeptics. They have all returned to this same place, and what harm has come to them in death? Even those who left no name behind are not worse off. What remains for us then? The only thing of value, to live in truth, with justice, and to treat even the unjust with kindness. When you need comfort or encouragement, remind yourself of the virtues of the people around you. The diligence of one, the modesty of another, the generosity of a third. Nothing uplifts the spirit like seeing real examples of character. Try to gather them all together in your mind, like stars in a constellation, and always keep those images close. Do you lament that you weigh only a certain number of pounds and not 300 instead? Then by the same logic, you might as well grieve that your lifespan is not longer. Just as you accept the physical frame nature has given you, so too should you accept the time allotted to you. Persuade others as best you can, but if reason and justice compel you to act, then act, even if everyone else stands against you. And if you're forcibly prevented from doing so, then shift your intention from justice to another virtue, such as patience, resilience, or contentment. That way, what blocks you from one virtue becomes an opportunity to strengthen another. Always remember that your initial aim was not to achieve a specific result, but to act rightly with a spirit of inner detachment. That aim is always within your reach, regardless of the outcome. And really, what else should matter to you if you can always choose to act in harmony with your nature? The ambitious man believes his happiness lies in others' praise. The pleasure seeker believes it lies in bodily sensations. But the wise man finds joy in his own actions. You always have the power to block out any thought or judgment. And by doing so, you block out grief itself. External things don't impose opinions on us, we form those opinions ourselves. Train yourself when listening to someone speak to give them your full attention. Don't let your mind drift elsewhere. Make it appear, indeed make it real, that your very soul is connected to theirs while they speak. That which is not good for the hive cannot be good for the bee. Do passengers complain if the captain brings them safely to shore? Do patients complain if the doctor heals them? Each person should care only that their role is fulfilled with skill and integrity. How many of those who were born around the same time as you are already dead? To the jaundiced, honey tastes bitter. To the rabid, water is terrifying. To children, a toy ball is a treasure. So why should I be angry when others are ruled by false opinions? Is ignorance less powerful in warping perception than illness or poison? No one can prevent you from living according to your nature. Nothing can happen to you that isn't part of nature's grand design. Reflect on the kind of people you're trying to please, what exactly you're hoping to gain, and the means you must use to get it. Then think of how quickly time will erase all of it, just as it has already buried so many before.